Welcome, everyone, to today's live stream, episode number 7 of our Solasta Crown of the Magister gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, nothing on admin notes and going right into our recap. Last week, hey Rudi, welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah, it should be a good day today. Should be a fun day. Last week, at the end of the episode, we really finished up clearing the Dark Tower. We have one encounter left with the Master of the Dark Tower, Mardracht, and just like the encounters that we've had with Aksha, we have a way to talk our way out of this if we want. However, if you do that, you're going to miss out on the best item in any Dungeons and Dragons game that you will ever play. So we're not going to do that. We're going to have a fight, and that's where we're going to start off today. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Okay, so here we are, and this door here, when you approach it, is what's going to open up this area back here, where Mardracht is. Now, like I say, we're going to get into a fight here, and I don't know if I can pre-position my characters or not outside here. I don't know if it's going to relocate my characters to be in front of this door or not, but I would like to try and relocate people if I can, and that's because Mardracht has one really nasty spell, and it's an upcasted cone of cold, I believe, that he'll throw out there, and it does a lot of damage. Now, he's only got one of them. I've never seen him cast it twice, but I want to try and keep people out of the line of sight of him while being able to pop out, get some shots on him from range, and then pop back in. So I'm going to try and do some stuff. I don't know if this is going to work. I may honestly just get teleported right back. When I start this, but I may get teleported right here by the door when this starts. But we're also going to cast Guided Insight. That should go on Sharon normally, but I don't know if it's going to bring Sharon into this or not.
Who are you? How did you get in here?
Master Mardracht.
You know my name? How do you know my name?
We represent the Legacy Council, Master, and we mean you no harm.
No harm. No harm, they say. They always say that. Always. They lie. Get out! I can still defend myself, you know.
Okay. So, I want to fail this. Okay? This is the opportunity that you get to try and convince him, and you get a decent amount of XP for that. You get an achievement for it also. There's an achievement for convincing Aksha and for killing Aksha. and there's an achievement for convincing Mardracht and killing Mardracht. So you want to save before you go in and do the persuasion, then reload that save, and then do the fight if you want to. But I want to fail this. If we don't fail it, we're going to go back and redo it until we do fail it.
We found you, and we breached your defenses. Do you really want to test your power against ours?
If you are not here to kill me, then what?
I offer you the chance to buy your life.
Lies! All lies! I know your gods and their treachery. I must find the other masters. Give me the crown!
But
Now!
Okay, so it did teleport me, and so Mardracht is at the end of the turn order, which is actually really good. He rolled poorly, so let's see if we can get some damage on him here. We have 90 hit points of damage to do. Okay, so we're going to separate Sharon a little bit here. Definitely going to cast Malediction and interrupt Guidance. So I'm going to move back here. And okay, so now he's down to 61. I'm going to try and move her out of the line of sight a little bit. All right, so we're going to get Flurry of Blows. And we're going to turn on Stunning Strike. And he passed the Constitution save. Okay, come on, give me another hit. Alright, so that was a good amount of damage. He's down to 22 for Rudi. Alright. So, much depends upon this hit. And I missed. He had to use... I shouldn't have spent his inspiration to pass his saving throw. So now we'll see what Mardracht comes up with here. Okay. So that is the cone of cold. Okay. The way that everything was spaced out there, though, he was barely able to hit Sharon. I should have moved Sharon farther to the right, that one square. We're gonna try and take the attack of opportunity here. And now I will Divine Smite. And I want him dead. Alright. That is the one thing you have to watch out for. Because if you fail that dexterity saving, or that constitution saving throw, I think. Yeah. If you fail that constitution saving throw, there's a lot of damage that gets popped out. And it almost one-shot Sharon. So it's something that you definitely have to watch out for. Let's go after the white. Sharon's gonna pop out here. Where's the sorcerer? He's there. Actually get her one tile closer. Okay. So we cast shield, but I still hit with a bunch of them. There's a crit. Okay. I need to get M over here. Let's... let's go... Okay, good. Now we'll throw down darkness. Use my free slot. And that means that the archers are now going to have to come into melee range here. Which isn't going to go well for them. Roll the 4. Okay, so let's get over here and help Sharon. Oh. Oh, boy. Okay. I hate to waste it on that guy.
Viribe.
Boy. M's having a hard day.
Solasta Evo! Zombies!
Boy, missed with advantage, and she rolled a 4. Okay.
So that's it?
Yes, I can feel its power. It's incredible.
Don't let it overwhelm you. Necromancy is dark magic.
That's right. We should probably sell it. How much do you think a smallish palace costs these days? Stop it. You know we can't do that.
We must get it back to the council.
Can't blame you for trying.
Okay. So let's get M to stop concentrating. Okay, and we saw a bunch of things happen here. Okay, so our relations with everybody went up by a flat 10, which is good. We also have now advanced to a new quest, the Monastery, which is the next main quest line here. We have completed the Dark Castle here. So we completed it. We need to go check back in at town, but you don't really... it's not necessary that you do it. We need to do it because we're going to turn some quests in and that sort of stuff. But for now, the quest doesn't tell you to go back to town. You could go right to the monastery if you want. So let's go ahead and do some looting in here. So regular scale mail, an unidentified potion, jeweled ring, just a valuable item, a breastplate, longbow. Loot everything can. Loot everything can, and loot everything here. Okay, so another breastplate. And a jeweled bracelet. Okay. So, able to loot everything. So now we have a few things to do. We have a couple of minor gates here, and we have the major gate. Okay. And let's go take a look at this. We're going to drop a quick save. Okay. And that is why we want to have this fight. Anybody who's ever played tabletop D&D and who has played almost any D&D based RPG game will know about the Bag of Holding. It is simply one of the most useful items ever invented in Dungeons and Dragons. It was not in Baldur's Gate 3, which was a source of major complaint on the forums. But the Bag of Holding here in the game gives you a carrying capacity multiplier of ×3. Okay, so if we look at what we have, 288 is the max, 378 because we have the gauntlets of hill giant strength, I believe, 252, 234. So you put it on your highest strength character and they just become your mule. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. So, can I take both of those? I can. Now, if I go into my inventories here, and I look down here, we have the Bag of Holding. So now we're able to carry 945. So this now basically consolidates, it removes all of your carry weight issues for the remainder of this game. And that's why the Bag of Holding in tabletop is one of those standard party OP things, because DMs and players hate worrying about carry weight. They absolutely hate it. It's like when a DM says that he's going to make you keep track of your ammunition. One of those things that players just absolutely hate, can't stand. And the Bag of Holding is just something that a lot of DMs just give to their party member, at least one party member, at some point, just to get past it all. And the Bag of Holding in this game is the single best item in this game. There is nothing that is more useful. There is nothing that is going to help you every encounter that you have more than the Bag of Holding. I know y'all were expecting some OP weapon or armor or something like that, but that is just simply not the case. It's all about that carry weight. So now we're going to drop another save. And hey, Ostamura, welcome. Good to see you. Okay, so we have 2 gates here. If we have something else to look at, or something else to loot. Okay, so this minor gate here will teleport you outside the castle. You can use the major gate behind us to teleport back to Caer. Okay, and everything else now is going to be looted by my bard. Okay, this minor gate here, however, leads you into Mardracht's inner sanctum. Okay. And we have some things that we can loot in here, including some crafting recipes. So breastplate of sturdiness, half plate of sturdiness, longsword of acuteness, a rapier of acuteness, and an oil of acuteness, all in the same spot. So let's go learn all of those. Okay. And we'll head down the stairs.
What's this?
It's a journal. Look, dates here and entries there.
What language is this?
Draconic. They say it's older than High Elven. Huh. Some scholars use obscure languages to prevent others stealing their research. Or, what? He's a dragon? How would that work? The most powerful dragons can take any form they choose. Why not an elf?
That's pretty far-fetched. He probably just learned Draconic.
And we picked up Mardracht's journal. There it is. Okay, and we can read this. So, if you look at this, he's having nightmares about the Rift battle. And you learn that why haven't they come for me? They will, I know it. All of us who were there, they'll hunt us, kill us, maybe worse. So Mardracht was there at the Rift and was one of the one of the spellcasters involved in sealing the Rift. Okay, and that's kind of why he's gone mad over the time. They won't lure me out. Oh no, never. So there's a lot of history there of what's going on. So now let's look around behind us and loot this bookcase. And we just have a bronze statuette, which is just something you can sell, and a leather-bound book. Okay, so let's do some ritual casting. Okay, so potion of frost giant strength. Potion of heroism. And a Tome of Understanding. Now, the Tome of Understanding actually is a thing. They come in various different types, and it is a consumable. So once you read it, it's going to disappear. And like I say, they come in different types for different ability scores. The Tome of Understanding is the wisdom-based tome, and what it's going to do is increase your maximum wisdom score by 2. Now, it also increases your maximum by 2, which means there are some things that will increase your wisdom score by 2, but will not increase the maximum over 20. Okay, so if you have 18, you can use it, and it will take you up to 20, but if you have 19 and use it, it will not take you to 21. The tomes, however, are stackable. They bypass the maximum of 20. You can now get over that number by using the tomes. Okay, so we're going to stash this for now. Actually, I don't think it transferred because he's too heavy. Okay, so M has a wisdom of 18, and his wisdom is tied to a lot of things that he's going to end up doing. So we can give it to him and up his wisdom to 20, which is something that we're probably going to do, but it's something also that I'm going to kind of keep in the back of my mind right now and not necessarily do anything with it until I take some more stock and think about it a little bit more. So once we've read all of, or done all those things and looted all of that, we can head back out. Okay, and again, this minor gate will take you outside, so if there's still some stuff that you want to do, as far as looting goes, and that sort of stuff, you can certainly go outside. We're going to head back to Caer though. Okay, and the major gate has now been added to our list of where we can teleport to. Okay, so now if you ever want to teleport back there, instead of walking all the way over there, you can just talk to the major gate officer here, and you can teleport wherever you would like. Okay. So, looking around at our map here, so we have a quest that we want to complete. So let's head up here to the Snow Alliance Embassy. Okay, and we need to talk to Halman Summer.
Delegate Summer, may we speak with you?
Yes, what is it?
We have something for you.
Or rather, someone.
Angby? Angby Cramson? Is that you?
Ha! It is, or was. Anyway, I'm here. These kind deputies brought my bones back, and my spirit came with them.
Thank you, deputies. I am in your debt. And so is the Guild of Antiquarians. On behalf of the Guild, let me offer you something for your trouble. I will make sure you go home to your family for burial, Angby.
Thank you, Halman. But before you do, I'd like to make my report.
Your report?
One advantage of being a ghost is the ability to walk through walls, you see. So, after my death, I was able to conduct a very thorough survey of an imperial necropolis. I couldn't lift a pen to write it down, so I'll report in person, if that's acceptable.
Well, let me take you to the Chancellor. She will want to know.
Capital! We're distant cousins, you know.
No, I didn't.
And that's going to complete Angby's bones. It also upped our relationship by a lot with the antiquarians. Okay? So we're now at plus 36 with the antiquarians. So they are one of the factions that we want to be focusing on to help us get some of the more powerful magical items that are in the game. Okay, so that's a big help to getting us there. Hey Dave, welcome. Good to see you again. Thanks for being here. So we gained some about the ogres that we had a fight with. Let's look through the rest of our bestiary. The white, we gained some more knowledge about them. Okay. So we can grab the Angry Violets again. want to move my bard up front. Just because she'll be the one default looting now. Okay, and then also let's look at our faction again, our faction list again, because you can see a lot of the factions are now at 10%, but the Scavengers and the Principality of Mosgarth are at 20%. So if we're going to be selling anything, we want to sell those things to the Principality or to or the Principality of Mosgarth or the Scavengers. We don't want to be selling to Hallman at this point. Okay, so we can take a look at the quest board here. And we have a couple of new side quests to pick up. So, Ancient Knowledge. So we need to return to the tower at Caer and search the library for a book. Okay, our reward is Ring of the Lightbringers, recommended level 4. And then return to the Manicalan Ruin where you found the crown. Not all the writing on the crown. Note all the writing on the crown's pedestal for research. The Legacy Council, 1 handy haversack. The handy haversack is also a thing in tabletop. So it is. I think it actually works different here. Yeah, I think it works different here. I think what it does in the game here is multiply your carry weight by 1.5 times, I think. And the bag of holding increases your carry weight by 3 times. Now, tabletop does not work that way. The handy haversack in tabletop, I believe it's 120 pounds, I think. The handy haversack has a main pouch and then 2 side pouches. And the side pouches have volumes, like you can have up to a certain volume of material in it, or a certain amount of pounds. And like I say, I think it's 120 pounds split between the 3. I think the metal one's like 70 or 80 pounds, and the outside 2 pouches are 10 or 20 pounds, something like that. And you can stuff all that material in it, but then the haversack only weighs 5 pounds, regardless of how much stuff that you shove in it. Okay? Now, the bag of holding, on the other hand, in tabletop, can hold up to 500 pounds. Right? And it has some limitations on, like, how big the opening is, so you can't, like, stuff a polar bear in it, or something like that. Because the opening's only like a foot in diameter or something like that. And the bag of holding weighs 15 pounds, regardless of how much stuff that you put in it. Okay. Now, the thing about those two is that they really store your stuff in the astral plane. Okay. It's like an interdimensional pocket space type of thing. And both of them have the property that if you put your hand in it and you think about what you want, it will pull it out. You don't have to go rummaging through it because you're actually reaching into another plane of existence to find it. Now, the bag of holding and the handy haversack have a very interesting interaction. And I actually did this in tabletop once, and the DM didn't know what I was doing when I did it. I took the handy haversack and I put it inside of the bag of holding. Now, when you do that, both of those things get destroyed, and it opens up a portal to the astral plane. And we needed to get there, and we were going to have to go through a huge quest that the DM had spent hours and hours putting together to get us to a portal. And I bypassed the entire thing. The DM was extraordinarily upset at the start because I rendered his entire side quest that he had set up irrelevant, but he was actually laughing about it at the end because he didn't realize that that was a thing that could be done. So picking up a handy haversack, like I say, in this game, I think it's going to increase your carry capacity by 1.5 times, which is just another bonus. So we might as well do both of those as well. So let's go to our stash and store some items. So store all of our ingredients and all of that sort of stuff. Okay, we have the Crystal of Winter. I'm going to remember that. Now, we also need to look for primed gear. Okay. Ah, we have some gauntlets that I haven't identified. Okay, so there's a primed scale mail. I think that's it. Okay, I think that's it. So while we're here, let's look at our crafting options. Okay, so one thing that we're really looking for is Whiteburn. Whiteburn, you need a primed short sword and the Blood of Solasta. Now, we don't have the Blood of Solasta yet, but it's a really good option moving forward. But in its place, there's something else that we can look at, and that's the Frostburn Longsword. The dagger, the short sword of acuity, the long sword of cuteness, those are +1s. The Frostburn Longsword, though, we need a primed longsword and a Crystal of Winter. Okay, so we got a primed short sword. But we don't have a primed longsword, but we do have a Crystal of Winter. Now, we need the rapier, the Doomblade rapier, as well. And for that, we need the Doom Gem. Okay, so we need a primed longsword and a primed rapier. Is what we need. Okay, I don't think... Maybe we have primed half plate? And then we don't have a lifestone, I don't think. Do we have a primed half plate? We have an oil of acuteness. We have plenty of those. We do have a primed half plate. Okay. So if we go to crafting, it's now going to light up that we can craft the half plate of sturdiness. Okay, because we're wearing half plate right now, I believe. Yeah, we're wearing a half plate +1 right now. I believe the of sturdiness, and let me go look. Sorry, give me just a second. Yeah, because it's +1. It's a +1 half plate as well. But that would allow us to change our bard from scale armor +1, which is dex or armor class set to 15, to half plate +1, which sets it to 16. So my bard would then be up to 18 armor class as well. So we'll get that crafted. We need to do another ritual for the gauntlets. And these are gauntlets of ogre power. Now this is another tabletop staple that's been around for 1,000 years. And it basically sets your strength to 19 while you're wearing them. It has no effect on you if your strength score is already 19 or higher. So we're wearing the belt of Hill Giant strength on my bard to get my strength up to 21. But now setting this to 19, if I look right now, Dex is being used on damage here. So it wouldn't do him any good. I'm using Charisma here for my damage here, so it wouldn't do me any good. So there isn't really a quote-unquote useful place for it, except for one thing. And that's that if you're trying to make a strength-based check, like shoving an enemy or something like that, then that strength-based check is going to benefit from the Gauntlets of Ogre Power. So we're going to move them here. Okay, these require attunement. So I'll attune those here in a little bit, and that will be the third item that Rudi is attuning to. Okay. And now let's go look at the general store here. Okay, and up here again you see rebate 20%. That's what you're looking for. So let's start selling off some items. So we don't need a rapier or any of the daggers. The shield, I think we're going to get rid of. Well, no, we'll keep it for now. The scroll kit I don't need. None of the darts. We probably have enough arrows and bolts. And I believe these are just valuable items. And we don't need the Adventurer's Journal anymore. Don't need the Scale Mail +1, so we're at 77. Now we're at 519. Selling your magical items is going to get you a lot. We don't need the Adventurer's Notes either. That's going to get us 707 gold pieces. We're going to keep the depleted rune on us for now. We're not going to turn it in. Okay, so we're at 227. The mace +1 takes us to 513. Get rid of those. We'll keep those 20 bolts there. No darts. No daggers. The comb. Don't need the dice. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll have enough arrows here. And leather armor +1, that's the same as what we're already wearing on Sharon. So 75 to 505. Get rid of those arrows and those arrows. Okay, and last one. Okay. So now you can see that we're up to 4,600 gold. All right. Let's take a look and see where we are on our ration pouches. We've got 2, 10, 12, 12. So 20, 24, 28, So 28 ration pouches. So I think, well, I know that's going to be fine to get us back to where we're going. We're, like I say, we're going to go head out and do a couple of side quests here. I do want to look and see. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. So a little inventory management here. Oh, they don't stack over 4. Okay. All right, so he's got backup bolts. We don't need those arrows. Those will go to M. The sorting is a little buggy in the game. So this was added by the Unfinished Business mod. It works, but when you start removing stuff from your inventory, it kind of bugs it out. So if you ever have any issues with what's showing up in your inventory, go to no sorting, and it's going to put it where it used to be. It's a pain in the ass. So what I tend to do is use reorder instead to bring everything together, and it will stack everything up to what it can stack to be. Okay, so the bolts need to go here. Yep. Okay, so we have some crafting materials. There's some crafting that we have to do with her. Definitely with the breastplate and the oil of cuteness. And now we're looking for a primed longsword and a primed rapier to buy. Okay, now I need to try and remember, I think I honestly can't remember who's got the primed weapons.
Deputies, do you have anything for the circle?
We do require your services.
Okay, so yeah, these are the +1 weapons and armors. I don't think I'm able to buy primed here. Yeah, it's not here. So let's head to... I don't think it's the antiquarians either, but let's go look. It might be Haddon Sure, or it might be Sure Spell over in the inn.
Clear skies, my friends. You have some treasure in your backpacks?
We do require your services.
Okay, yeah, these are the recipes for doing it. We can look and see what else has been opened up here. Because of our increase in our reputation with the antiquarians. So the Cloak of Elvenkind is really good for your rogue-based fighter because you get advantage on those stealth checks. So when you are making your attacks from stealth and you have to pass a stealth check against the enemy, you can then have advantage on that, which means you're more likely to stay in stealth. But there are some really, really good things in here. You can buy a handy haversack here if you want for 2,000 gold. We obviously are going to try and get that here in a little bit. I don't think that there's anything else. I mean, there are a couple of things in here that would be nice. You can combine the Boots of Elvenkind with not the Cloak of Elvenkind, and that would be doubling up on your advantage on dex checks. You can combine it with the Cloak of Arachnida. It casts Pass Without Trace, which gives you a plus 10 to your stealth checks. So having advantage and Pass Without Trace is a recipe for your always staying in stealth type of build. So I think for now, we're going to not purchase any of those. Let's go back to Market Street here, and we'll walk over to the cask. I don't like fast traveling into the cask. Sometimes it puts you behind the bar and you can't get out. So let's go up here and talk to Headland Surespell. Now the thing about Headland also is that if you've gone into unfinished business and you've looked at your character formation, if you set it to this formation, you're not going to be able to talk to him. For some reason, the characters just don't align. There's no room up here for your characters to make this formation. So one of your characters will not be near him, and if he's not near him, then nobody in the party can talk to him. So always set your formation back to the default here before you talk to Headland. It took me a while to figure that out.
Clear skies, adventurers. Anything new for the Arcanian?
We do require your services.
Okay, and yeah, here is where I can buy primed equipment. Now, I need to get them sympathetic.
Clear skies, adventurers. Anything new for the Arcanian?
Okay, so let's talk
Possibly.
business and see what we can give them. Like I say, we want to hold on to the depleted rune for now. I'm going to give them... see what we have here. See, I'll give them the Imperial Gate plaque. Okay, and I've got sympathy now.
Stay in the light.
And that should be enough, I believe, for me to buy primed weapons.
Clear skies, adventurers. Anything new for the Arcanian?
We do require your services.
Okay, so yeah, I can't buy the primed armors yet. I need an alliance level for that, but I can buy the primed weapons. Okay, so I need a primed longsword. which is here. And I need a primed rapier, which is here. Man, I should have bought those with Sharon, but... because they both need to go on to Sharon. Okay. So now we need to take a rest here. Because we're hurt pretty bad.
Hello, adventurers. What can I offer you?
Let's actually not do this
We
yet.
should go.
We need to go into Sharon and start her crafting. Okay? So you can see that we can get a few things here now that they've opened up. So Rapier of Acuteness is a +1 rapier, Longsword of Acuteness is a +1 longsword. The Doomblade Rapier, however, the Frostburn Longsword, and the Half Plate of Sturdiness. So we're going to start with the Frostburn Longsword. So she has a crafting bonus of 5. Yeah. And Rudi has a crafting bonus of 4. So we want her to start with the Frostburn Longsword. Okay. Now crafting, you need to have the ingredients. Okay. It's going to have a DC to go along with it. The ability check is intelligence here, D20 +5, and you're required to make 14 successes, and you make a check every hour to be able to see if you can craft. Okay, so it's a multi-day process to be able to craft it, and the more you fail this, the longer it's going to take for you to get 14 successes. So we're going to start crafting that.
Hello, adventurers. What can I offer you?
We'd like to stay for the night.
Okay, and let's go to attune some items. So nothing there. Nothing there. We do have some gauntlets. Nope. I don't want them. And then here, we need to attune to that. And then nothing there. Okay, so you can see what happened while she was asleep, or while she was getting ready to for bed. She tried to craft twice. Okay, so she rolled 1 success and 1 failure on the Frostburn Longsword. So if I go into her now and look at her crafting, you can see she's got one. Okay, so it's going to take a while for this to happen. Now, Rudi also has a decent ability to craft. Okay, so for him, we can start trying to get him crafting something else. Okay, so the crafting DCs listed in the bottom left-hand corner. They're all 18s. So let's just go ahead and get him started trying to craft something. Okay, and now we're going to drop a save. Hey Jacob, welcome to the stream again. This game has gotten really good reviews. It was put out a while ago. I think it was 20... Well, I can't remember, honestly, when it was put out. I think I know, but I don't want to tell you and get it wrong. but it wasn't hugely popular back then. It did do very well, but it wasn't, you know, one of the major games that everyone was talking about back then. But now with the new game coming out next year, and the early access starting for Solasta 2 the end of this year, it's become more popular right now to be able to take a look at it. And where are you going? Right. So this gives us a good spot right now, I think, to take a break. Since we're going to be heading out of here, I'm going to take a 3-minute break and give everybody a chance to grab some water, use the facilities if you need to, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. And welcome back, everyone. Yeah, Jacob, I think this game is very similar in how it was received to KCD1. It's become a lot more popular once KCD2 came out. People going back and playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. I think it's the same thing with this one. With the new games coming out and the possibilities, you know, of that, people are taking more interest in this one itself. So, all right, so let's take a look at our quest log. And the Monastery quest is here, but we now have Ancient Knowledge. Okay, we need to return to Caer for this. And then Origins of the Crown, we need to return to the Manacalon Ruin. Okay, so let's head out here. And we'll look at our map. Okay, and here is where the monastery has opened up again. Okay, so we need to get to Caerlem Outpost and the Manacalon Ruin. Again, they have the exclamation points. So let's get to the... If I was going to go straight to Manacalon Ruin, that would take me 4 long rests, and I have 28 units of food, so plenty. So let's go to Caerlem first, and that should be 3. Okay, so we get our first combat encounter on the way there. So, an enforcer, an archer, and 2 skeletons. Not really a big deal. Okay, we rolled pretty well in initiative except for a bard. So we've got 2 skeletons up here, and since they're both up there, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get anybody up there. So where are the others? The enforcer and an archer out here. 2 skeletons up there. And that's it. So I think we're just going to ready up some attacks here on this turn. These guys are going to want to come down this ladder. Okay, so I'm not too worried about the 2 skeletons here. Let's see. I'd prefer to get rid of the archer first if I can.
Solasta, too slow.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna move Rudi over here. Have him get primed. And he's got his mace on, which skeletons are vulnerable to that damage. We don't really need Divine Smite, but I might as well. I'm going to get a rest out of this immediately afterwards, so just go for broke here.
That one didn't even fight back.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Arcana enjoy. Arcana Evo. Malmis.
Kill 'em all.
And we'll just move all the way across the battlefield. Monk's OP.
You're not coming back.
Perfect. Okay. Again, we're gonna have our monk loot or our bard loot everything. He is our mule now. do want those arrows there, because I think M was a couple of arrows short. Yeah, he's still a couple arrows short of having a full stack in reserve. Okay, so let's head back, finish our long rest. Actually, let's look at our crafting. Okay, so she's up to 3. So Sharon's halfway done crafting the longsword. So we've done really well finding the finding food. So Rudy's halfway done crafting the half plate. Okay, and again, if we look at our quest journal, we're looking for ancient knowledge. Okay. So we need to head back to the tower. And the tower is going to be here at the inner fort. Okay, and we'll head up here. Your characters who are flying need to be on the ground for that thing to trigger, like you saw there. Okay, now we've been to the ancient library before. Okay. So we're not going to take that fast travel point, though.
You don't mind being on your knees, do you?
And we're going to take this very similar to how we did this last time. So Rudi will put up here. Em is going to go out here with us, and we're going to prep. Everybody else. For this. So we'll put everybody in cautious mode. Oh, I don't think this matters here. But 'cause I think this guy's way back here. Okay, so no, he's... Yeah, there's the sorcerer. Right there. So... Let's see... Okay, so he's too far away. This is what I meant by I don't think this matters. I may go after one of the others. Okay, I can get him there. I want to maximize my movement here, though. Okay, so right there. And the other sorcerer is right there. There are two sorcerers this time. Yeah, maybe able to get this one from farther back. I thought it was going to be blocked by the wall. Yeah, I can't see him there. But I get one more square of movement. Okay, and again, he's resistant to the attack, but not resistant to the extra damage from the acid. Okay, and I managed to stay in stealth for all of that. We're just going to ready up and let them come to us. And until you're perceived, the two sorcerers are not going to come from out of the back. You need to be perceived, really, for them to show up. So, ooh, I can. Can I hit the sorcerer from here? I can. Nice. Okay, so now I failed my stealth check, so now the sorcerers are going to be coming towards me. Okay, so let's use Step of the Wind and get out of here. And now we should see the sorcerers move up as well. Yep. Okay, we're gonna let Rudi stay here. I don't think I can see... Oh, I can see him. another one.
Damn!
That's M's second nat 1 today. Okay. Now, for some reason, the Enforcer is not resistant to piercing damage. Not entirely sure why. It might be because of them wearing some armor or something like that, but kind of weird.
Arcana Evo Malmis.
We don't need to Divine Smite this. He's vulnerable to that damage. Okay, so Rudy, we will and ready up. And now they should be pretty spaced out. So I'm going to be fighting mainly one-on-one here, with the exception of this sorcerer. Let's see if we can...
Well struck!
Okay, so we cast shield. So let's move Rudy back around the corner. Okay, he's dashing, which is good.
Arcana Evo Malmis. Not bad, eh?
Would have preferred or hoped that we'd have gotten a kill right there, but we didn't. So this is a marksman. Okay, so he's going to get a shot off. Oh, he dashed. Okay.
I won't miss next time.
All right. Ready the cantrips. And we're just going to stay right where we are. He's going to dash.
Arcana Evo Malmis.
Oh, he survived. Oh. Got a lot of health. So he's going to get a shot off here. Oh, he got... Where is he going? Okay, well, I'm not going to argue with him. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get that sorcerer here. Don't think Rudy's gonna have much of a problem here, though.
Wait till the next one.
Can I even see him? No. Can I drop down? I can.
Arcana Vivo. Malmis.
I missed, but wow. Back to back nat ones. I think it's 0.05% chance. Something like that. I'm gonna move Rudy up and hope that it goes after Rudy, because Rudy can't reach him either. Okay, good. All right, Em. Oh no. Can he not reach him because the way's blocked? No, he can get there. For a second I thought that because Rudy was there it was going to block his way, but
I win again.
perfect. Go do a little looting here. Okay, so corrosive arrows.
Looks like you did that all your life.
I think there are corrosive arrows in this one. Yes. Em will take those. I'll take everything else. Okay, and now we need to get into this room here. You can interact with this stack of books. And you get the Chronicles of the Inquisition. Okay. This is just a, you can read it if you want, but you're going to get updates to your Sorakath knowledge by reading it, but that's it. Okay, so in our bestiary now, I believe all of those should be, we still have a little bit left on the saboteur. Okay, so we have a little bit left on each one. 3, and yeah, the abomination, we failed that twice when we're fighting it. So the Shikath, we actually learned what it was now. That was one of these unknown creatures. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so now we've finished up here. So let's head back to the exit. And we're going to... You can sell if you would like here, but with our bag of holding, it doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, before we do that, look at our quest journal. We're looking for origins of the crown. And for this, we're going to have to head to the Manacalon Ruin again. Okay, so the Manacalon Ruin, we have 25 food units, which is good. We need to get to the Manacalon Ruin, which is going to take us one long rest. And there you go. You finished crafting the Frostburn Longsword. Okay, so now we can get her started on crafting the Doomblade Rapier. Okay, as soon as you finish one, immediately start prepping the next one. Okay, so we have a Berserker, a Brown Bear, and 3 Starving Wolves. The Berserker's not cool, but we get surprise here. Okay, so we rolled well on initiative. So the Brown Bear here, we need to really start laying into this thing. Let's... Boy, I just don't know if Rudi is going to be able to get around over there or not.
Again!
Get her up off the ground.
Solasta Encho Minure. Solasta Evo.
Nice hits. Rolled high on those. Good. So now I can let Rudi wait. But I'm going to change. I can't change it out. I'll do it afterwards. We're going to move up and we're just going to ready up the melee attack. And we're going to do the same thing. Actually, no, let's get some damage onto the Berserker. Oh, roll the crit. Nice.
A telling blow.
Okay, so we're gonna move over here.
Arcana Encho Minure.
Get flanking rules and we'll slashing flourish here.
Not bad, eh?
The starving wolves they're low health enemies anyway, but being able to, we rolled high on them. On D6s, we rolled 2 5s. So that was good. We're enough to get them killed. And now I can move my bard back still. So we're gonna retarget. Actually, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to cast Aided Insight. Or Guided Survival.
Solasta Evo. Veribe.
And should be able to get the kill here.
No quarter given.
Okay, so got Berserker and Brown Bear knowledge increases. Okay, so Brown Bear pelt for crafting. More corrosive arrows for M. Okay, and now that we're free, let's take the Frostburn longsword and put that onto Rudi. Okay, now what it does first of all is takes the 1d6 plus 1 from the mace and translates that to 1d8 plus 1 for the longsword. Now this may change around a little bit if something's vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. I may change back to the mace plus 1. That's where I'm going to keep it in my inventory. But this also gives you, if you look down below it, it gives you plus 1d8 frost damage So now he's dealing a lot more damage with his primary weapon here, especially against things that are vulnerable to frost damage. And that is going to be very important for us coming up here in a little bit. That's why I went to the to Caer first, is so that I could have time to craft up this longsword before I get to the Manacalon ruins. And where are we on crafting? He's 10 out of 14 on that. And she just started this. Alright. So now the ruins you can see have changed a little bit. Okay. We now have friendly troops in here. And if you haven't crafted the longsword yet, I would suggest taking some long rests until you can get that sword crafted. Okay, but there's an enchantment manuals merchant here.
Strike true, friends.
Okay, and that is exactly what you would think. Okay, so a lot of crafting manuals available in here, and you're going to have your Principality of Mascarth, so we've got 20% rebate on all of these. And this is a place where I would probably take some time to stock up on as many of these as you can get, because again, crafting is pretty important in here. And if there's weapons that you're not going to use, then you don't have to spend the money on them. But being able to get all the way from priming a katana all the way through to being able to enchant a +3 one can be really, really useful. Okay, so I just spent some time going through these and looking at what recipes are here. Enchanting the Forceful gauntlets. Gauntlets of Pulling. So go through these and try and look at what recipes you want to be able to use, and spend some time going through and purchasing them here as you're going through this, because there are a lot of good ones in here for starting out. Okay, for us, I'm not too worried about it right now. So we're going to head in here. And let's go fast travel to the crown. No, we won't go to the crown room. We'll go to the long rest safe area. There's nothing waiting for you up until this point. Okay, but the crown room, need to be careful. Okay, and for this, okay, I'm going to put everybody in a straight line. And that's because we're going to see some things when we get up here into this room. And I want to be moving as far along this back wall as I can. Okay, once I'm in here, then I'm going to go back to my first preset. And we're going to start getting everybody ready. I'm going to leave Sharon back here. My bard's going to go in front of her. Rudy's going to step up a little bit here. And so is M. Okay, now here for M, I'm going to change to the arrows +1. We have a fire elemental, 4 fire jesters, and 2 ospreys to deal with down here. And I'm going to save. I would like to be able to go after the jesters here first.
Of course you've been detected.
Okay, now I did 9 damage, and that took about 1/3 of his health. Okay, we're gonna take her up. I'm anxious to see, can she actually cast over this wall? Doesn't look like it. Now I'm gonna Divine Smite here. Why didn't I get those back? Okay, well this is gonna be a problem. Okay, so we need to get rid of the ospreys here. But so Stunning Strike is a Constitution save, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it's a Constitution save. So it's probably got a really low chance of landing against the fire elemental. So I'll just try and get rid of the fire ospreys here if I can.
Again.
Okay, let's try and get rid of this one first. Oh, it's got one hit point left. I hate to waste that.
Nice move.
And I'm using the portraits up here to land my attacks. Tends to be a bit easier in a crowded environment, especially when the ospreys are flying and moving around like this. So I'm gonna get Rudi out here, I think, to go after the fire elemental. You can't reach him because he's up in the air. We're gonna pass on that again.
I trained hard for this.
And there's the additional cold damage. Okay. All right. So let's cast Malediction here. I think I'm gonna try and get some damage into the fire elemental. Well, no, let's do it here. Let's make sure they're both dead. Okay, so that one's dead.
Bites the dust.
And then my bard. kills that one. Okay, let's see what happens here. Going after Sharon, that's not good. Okay, so M here, first thing he's gonna do, cast darkness. Okay, Rudi is going to ready his attack. Sharon is now going to move, and she's going to provoke an attack of opportunity when she moves. And he missed. Outstanding.
Solasta, Evo.
Okay. And my bard can... trying to leave a spot. I think he might move out here. I think he's going to want to go after Sharon. But I don't want to block Rudi from being able to get out there from taking a shot. So let's move my bard over here. If he happens to land there in this 2x2 spot, that would be best, but I think he's probably going to land over here, is my guess.
Arcana and Joe. Minure. Arcana, Evo. Malmis. Good.
Now these guys can't go anywhere because I'm plugging up the hole on the other side. So they're just going to sit there. Where's he going? Okay, so he's still above. So we'll definitely smite this. Oh, outstanding. Look at that. 31 radiant damage. Love it. Oh, he rolled a crit. Nice. Well done. Well done, Rudi. Nice shot. Yeah, Rudi, well done. Okay, so now we're going to move. We're going to allow these things to come in here. I don't know if I can shoot through there or not. I can. So let's retarget.
Touche!
And that's going to be a problem for him. So I think everybody's readied. We'll pass.
One foe down.
One more readied. Oh. He's like, run away. Perfect. And we'll just ready everybody up, because now that other guy should be coming back. Yep. Outstanding. That went really, really well. Okay, so we picked up a bunch of magnesium, some serpentinite, and a couple of primordial lava stones, which are going to be very useful later. M can take... Okay, well, he can't take them. So we'll take the arrows +1 here and move those to M. Okay, now here we can move ourselves back down because we need to interact with the central pillar here. Okay. As ancient knowledge, we already got, and here's origin of the crown. Note all the writing on the crown's pedestal for research. Okay, I'm gonna drop a save. Okay, and I finished up the origins of the crown now. I picked up ancient inscriptions. And that's the quest item for this. I don't think there's anything magical about it. While we're here, though, we can check that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we know all of these. Okay, that can go to her. Okay. Yes. So that's it. Okay, so now we are ready to head out. So let's head back. Ah. Okay, it brought everybody with me. Good. Okay, now I'm going to make my way over toward the possible gem location here. I've got 26 food, and this is going to take 5 long rests. It's actually going to take longer than that. But I'm pretty sure we'll be alright. And he's finished the half plate of sturdiness. So that's here. So you can see it's the exact same thing as half plate plus 1. So if we go to our bard, my armor class is 17. Now it's 18. Okay, so we found some more food. We got plenty, enough time. So Sharon's halfway done crafting the Doomblade Rapier. And we got a wolf pack with a dire wolf and 3 regular wolves. We're on surprise. Alright, so we've got 1 wolf that direction. Okay, and the other 3 are down this direction. So they can move pretty far. Let's see if we can knock the dire wolf back. See if we can move the front 2 wolves back.
That's the way.
Perfect. I'm going to move M here, and we'll get a couple attacks against the dire wolf. Okay, Sharon will again take up. Okay, target's out of range there. Got them both. Outstanding. And Rudi will just move him up. Put him back to sword and board and ready up a melee attack. Wolves can move a long distance. Not gonna save them from my bard though.
Victory is mine!
That +5 to hit, or +5 to damage, because of charisma, is coming in clutch with that 17 damage there.
Take that.
Okay, so I mastered the wolf. And I failed on the direwolf. Okay, so we do have a little bit of loot over here. Probably a direwolf pelt. Yep. And we finished crafting the Doomblade Rapier. Okay, so the longsword +1 is 1d8 for her. The Doomblade Rapier is also 1d8. However, the creature takes 1d6 necrotic damage at the beginning of its turn, and this is recurrent damage. Okay, it's still 1d8 as well. So they can make a, I believe it's a Constitution save to avoid this. Okay, now this location here, we're going to run into a few things as we go around this. We're going to be inspecting the outsides of this quite a bit. So we've got another berserker, more starving wolves, and another brown bear. But we're on surprise. Or no. Yeah, we're on surprise. But I've got alert on everybody, so we're avoiding the surprise. Okay, so we have the brown bear and 2 of the wolves that way. The berserker on the other wolf is this way. Okay.
Arcana Encho Minure. Arcana.
Try and keep the brown bear out of the fight here.
Lucky? Perhaps.
I don't think it can dash that far. It might be able to, but we'll see. Okay, so M is immediately going to cast Darkness. Okay, Rudi is going to move forward a little bit and ready up a melee attack. And Sharon going to try and go after the berserker.
Solasta Encho Ninure. Solasta Evo Malmis. Ha! have hurt.
And now I will move her up. That's gonna hurt.
Viribe! Kill them all!
Bye-bye. I don't even think I needed smite. No, I rolled a crit. He died from the slashing damage and the cold damage. Didn't even get a chance to proc. Okay, we're probably going to delay a little bit here. Well, we can get rid of try and get rid of the wolves. Let's move here. We'll do a slashing flourish again. Took out one of the wolves. Okay, now like I say, I think I'm gonna delay here. Where's the other starving wolf? Over here. We're just gonna end Rudi's turn. We're gonna have Sharon move down here.
Solasta, Divo, Feribe!
And cast Guided Survival. Like I say, it was highly unlikely the bear was going to hit anyway. Oh, wow.
Try again.
With advantage, I rolled a 2. Alright. So... Wow. Look at that. Rolled a 2. That one succeeded. Okay, nothing special. So, what does our bestiary say? So the wolf is now mastered 4/4. Okay, so we did learn some about the fire jester, the fire osprey, and the fire elemental. The berserker is now 1 out of 4, and the brown bear is 3. Okay, so they do have a positive to wisdom saves. But charisma saves are bad, so hold monster, stuff like that would work really well. Okay. Let's continue on with our long rest. Okay, and now we've reached the Termarian ruins. Now, this is a fairly straightforward exploration area. There's a couple of
I heard something.
tricks to it. Okay, but once you get to the cliff edge, everything opens up. Alright. And we're gonna split here. Now you can walk through here. Okay, and we're definitely going to. You can also make your way across this way, if you would like. But we'll go see what it looks like up here. Okay, and we should recognize some of this decor. We've seen it before. If any of y'all can remember where we've seen like these hanging skull ornaments and that sort of stuff. And there you can see the first of the goblin enemies that we're going to have to deal with. The other thing that having high strength allows him to do is he can navigate all of these jump areas and all that sort of stuff. Really easy. And he can actually get here, I think. Yes. Okay. And we have a goblin cutthroat over here. Okay, I'm still in stealth. I passed both my stealth checks. I'm hoping she fails, or one of them fails their stealth check. Okay, and now Rudi is on their flank. And now he's got the high ground. If he gets a kill, he doesn't have to roll a stealth check. He's more than 3 tiles above them, I think, so he doesn't have to roll a stealth check anyway. Actually, I forgot.
Curses. My fault. Arcana Vivo Almis.
That's all on me. That's all on me. And they have reduced movement speed in the water. Oh, he moved too far out to the left. Okay, so he does still have to roll stealth checks, even up here.
The idiot.
Okay, so now they see him. Not too worried about it, though.
Solasta Encho Minure. Solasta Evo Mavis. You like it?
That was a bunch of damage.
Arcana Vivo Almis. A modest success.
Oh, they're smart. They're moving out of the reduced movement speed and possibly protecting themselves from ranged attack on that one. Oh, wow. That is twice today that we have seen back-to-back nat ones. I don't think statistically that should be possible, but again, it is, or I guess statistically it shouldn't be probable, but it is possible. So, I get him. I can, I think. Yes.
Happen now.
He's not dead. 1 hit point. I probably can't see him. Yep. And that one died. Okay, now Rudy's up high enough over this guy that he doesn't even have cover there. He just needs to hit him. Oh, wow.
Another victory.
We'll get Sharon on the move. Can't target him yet. We're just going to stay here. There's no point in moving either of these two down there. Oh, wow. Alright, deflect. We'll return those. How many? What is that? 3 nat 1s out of 5 rolls? Wow.
What were these goblins doing here?
That was crazy. I'm going to take Sharon to loot this. Of course there's a path to the destination. You can fly. Okay. Alright, so some dark stab poison bolts. Nice. Alright, so now we can take a look around here. We've already been up there. Okay, there is something down here, but we don't want to go there yet, and we kind of want to stay away from the edge for now.
This is where they come from.
Okay, and now I want to kind of strategically position here. Let's see if I can get over here. Okay, so I can't. Wasn't sure with my increased strength if I could get there or not. Okay, but I do have goblin cutthroats over here that we can see. So we're gonna again start this off. And I want to put Rudi here. Okay, so can I see this guy? I can. So I've got a goblin shaman here that I want to get rid of. And target has half cover from there because I'm not high enough. And I get that negated up here. Nope. Still got half cover from there, so let's drop a save before we go into this. That goblin shaman is not something that you want to mess around with. Okay, so he rolled a 12. So everybody rolled in front of him. Left him with 1 hit point. I'm actually going to change to Rudi here and try and get rid of him if I can. Okay, good. Okay, so I think the other shaman's way down here, yeah. I don't think anybody can target anything down there. I'd be surprised if I could hit him. But if I could, it'd be nice. Oh, I can. He's gonna take some fall damage, folks. Can I target him too? Ooh, I can. That's gonna hurt. Nice. I love it. That was a great surprise round. Okay, so he cast Healing Word. Well, it was a mistake for him to come within range. Outstanding. Can he get the shaman? Can. Yeah, that was a bad mistake on his part to come out of hiding back there. So all I can get's the Goblin Shaman here. He's prone, so I'm going to have disadvantage on this. Still hit. Nice. I don't think I can target anybody. Oh, I can. Oh, perfect. Oh,
Are you okay?
I'm alright. Didn't expect him to roll a 19. Let's see if M can get rid of both of these. They're facing away. Means he'll be able to stay in stealth the entire way. And he still managed to stay in stealth. Doesn't have to roll, or has to roll 1 there against the surviving enemy.
Of course you've been detected.
Okay, let's get the Frostburn Blade in here working. I'll pass.
Good.
Again, harder.
Ooh, that hurt. And one more. Perfect. Actually, I should have cast. Okay, so he got it anyway. So that should have, yeah, there's the cutthroat that's now mastered. So, yeah, big Constitution saving throws and Dexterity saving throws. There's the Tiger Drake we found last time, and the Shaman. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do today is do some looting here. Let's take Sharon over here. And now I should be able to get Rudi up here.
It seems effortless.
Okay, so scroll of color burst. Nice. Some hide armor. First time we've seen that. And the crafting recipe, I think we've already got basic poison, but we got Queen Ivy out of this. I think we already... Oh, we didn't have that crafting recipe. Okay, nothing special there. We want to take Sharon and fly her up to here. I think she's going to go the long way. But if you try and fly down here and get this before you have that fight, you're going to trigger an ambush right there. Yeah, she's going to go the long way. Okay, so there is some here I can loot. The moonflower. Manicallan orchid. And here we get the Journal of M10 Dewars, and we're going to see what that's useful for here in a second. Well, actually, next week, because we're about to take a break. Okay, and in here, I think it's this one. Nope. There it is. M10 Dewars, but when you read the dates... He's not dead yet. But he's got a grave. And like I say, you're going to find out more about that a little bit later on. This, I think, is the last bit of looting out here. Roll of acid arrow and an amethyst. And the crafting for superior healing potions. Make sure we don't have any scrolls on anybody. We don't. Yeah, just revivify and raise dead. Okay, let's look at our map real quick. And, oh, I did forget about that one. So that is right, it's this thing right up here. We'll have Sharon go get it. Much easier for her to go get it. Okay, and that gets you more arrows +1 and some more Serpentinite. I always have trouble saying that. And we're going to bring everybody out here and get them ready for next week. So the arrows +1. Get shifted to M. And there we go. Now there's something else very important that you might have noticed. And that's that everybody has a glowing arrow next to them. They are ready for a level up. So next week we're going to finish off this little area here. And once we do that, we're going to have a couple of puzzles to solve in here. There's one more fight, I believe. I think there's a Minotaur fight here that we have to deal with. We're going to do some more looting in here, and then we're going to pick up a new party member who's going to be a critical character that we're going to have to watch out for, and we're going to have to escort her through the entire rest of this quest line. We are nowhere near the monastery yet. We have quite a bit of stuff to do before we get there, but we should get there next week. But we have a lot of stuff to do between now and then. So that brings us to a great point to stop the stream today. So as always, thank you all, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate all the interactions that I get from all of you in chat every week. Like I say, my community is the best, and thank you all for that. Thank you to my community members, my channel members. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. As I always say, without y'all's support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Draval saying until next time, fare thee well.